But he said, Dad, you got to do an interview with a guy named Theo Vaughn. I said, who the hell is Theo Vaughn? He said, Dad, he's such a big guy, you got to do an interview.
Yeah, they said, dude, you want to go to the Middle East? And I'm like, the Middle East of what? Like, what do you even mean? You mean like Kentucky, or what do you guys want? They're like, no, dude, the Middle East where the peace is. I'm like, oh, yeah, if you're hiring me to go over there and help with peace, then things are not good.
Julie is one of the 1.5 million children in America with the parent in prison. But Angel Tree Camp became a special refuge. There she laughed, swam, hiked, and made friends with other kids with the parent in prison. And most importantly, she heard about God's love and discovered that he had a purpose for her life. Thousands of children like Julie are waiting for the same experience. Will you help send them to camp? Just $200 can give a child this life-changing opportunity. Visit angeltree.org/Tatum to donate today, and your support could impact the child's life for eternity. Let's go to, I want to talk about Theo Vaughn being invited to the Middle East with Donald Trump.
And I also want to influence you to clap for a man who's a great influencer. In fact, my son, Barron, said, Dad, you got to do an interview with somebody I hadn't heard of. But my son knew very well, he knows everyone. He said, Dad, this is before the election. You know, we won in a landslide, in case you hadn't known. But he said, Dad, you got to do an interview with a guy named Theo Vaughn. I said, who the hell is Theo Vaughn? He said, Dad, he's such a big guy, you got to do an interview. So he knew all the names. I didn't know the names. And where is Theo? He's around here someplace, I think. Theo, thank you very much. That's Barron. You know Barron. He said, you got to do with that. We had a good time, right? Had a good time. We had like 270 million people that listened. So you know what? I think Barron was right. Thank you for being here, Theo. Appreciate it.
When I first heard it, I said, what? I thought he was going to do some diplomatic stuff. I said, well, what is happening here? But then I see that he went and spoke to the troops there. Shout out to the armed forces, people who sacrificed their lives to make sure we're free on both sides. No matter what country you're in, because it looked like there's Americans here and it looked like they got some Qatari people over the other side. But anyway, let's go to the clip where Theo Vaughn gives a hilarious rendition of how he got picked to go there, and his thoughts roll it.
Yeah, nice to be here. Sorry, I'm very nervous. I don't know what's that. I feel like I'm guilty of something. Oh yeah, it's alarming. What's going on? Not much. I didn't know I was going to be here either. Yeah, I promise you, this is definitely court ordered. Oh yeah, I'm just getting out of some time. Yeah, they said, dude, you want to go to the Middle East? And I'm like, the Middle East of what? Like, what do you even mean? You mean like Kentucky, or what do you guys want? They're like, no, dude, the Middle East where the peace is. I'm like, oh, yeah, if you're hiring me to go over there and help with peace, then things are not good. It is not going well because, yeah, I'm on TMZ right now having a bar fight in Nashville, so I don't think you guys caught me on a tough week for peace, man. They're like, no, dude, we want you over there, or we want you to be over there, we want you to come over and talk about peace and being in the Middle East. So, yeah, here I am, and what's going on, dude? Not much, man. Yeah, most of you guys have never seen me walk before, actually, so you guys can't, dude. These are bulletproof. I'm like, what am I doing up here? Yeah, don't shoot. I don't even know who this team we're on. Crazy. I'm like, how many sides are on this base? It's a big game of Clue. Yeah, but no, I'm happy to be here, man. They said to come on over, so I said, okay, dude, let's do it, you know? I was just in New York when I got the call. People are so mean in New York, man. I said hello to a guy, He said no. All right, dude. Okay, that checks out. And yeah, so I came over here and I'm trying to think how I had a big plan of how to start this whole thing, and I just can't remember the beginning part. But I'll pick it up.
That is hilarious. I kind of feel bad for Theo Von because I do feel like he kind of like genuinely don't know what to say. Let me just explain this real quick. As a public speaker, and I've spoken in front of thousands of people, the worst thing that you can do is be in a room in an audience that you don't expect to be in. Meaning, when you go to a conservative event and it's a bunch of conservatives, you can come out and you could just do this and everybody gonna scream and everybody's happy for you or whatever. When you go to a situation where you're not normally supposed to be in, it's incredibly hard to perform, to talk, to remember what you're gonna say. And I'm gonna tell you this, I bet you $200 million that I don't have, that it's hard to do anything with military personnel. First responders, military personnel are the most straight-faced people you ever gonna stand in front of, unless they drunk at a comedy club. But if you're at a venue where they have to be quasi-professional, they got uniforms on, they looking at you like this. I went to speak to some people who were working in the jails. I forget what the jail con. Were you there with me in jail con? I went to New Orleans at jail con, and these are correction officers. And so I went to speak to correction officers, and the guy was like, do what you do, man. Say whatever you want to say. And it was a bunch of black correction officers there, right? And I do whatever I want to do. I just say it like it is. Man, everybody in there had a stone face for like 20 minutes. I said, this is the worst speech I ever gave. There's like 3 people that I know are like super with me, but everybody else is stone facing me. I feel like I'm at a venue talking about stuff that they don't want to hear. I don't know what else to talk about because this is what I do. Man, but then after it was over, the very same people that looked at me like I was a scumbag and then they hated me came up to me and said, dude, that was one of the greatest speeches I ever heard. I almost said, well, why didn't you give me an amen then? You over there making me feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like they not gonna want to pay me after I leave here because I just screwed this whole thing up. And it's just the way that first responder people, they don't really wear their emotions on their sleeve in a professional environment. So anyway, I feel for Theo Von because I know that had to be a very tough thing to do. But when you're somebody who's funny, you could just say random stuff. And I think Theo Von randomly say stuff and he's not even trying to be funny, but it's funny because it's so random. Anyway, the bar fight he was talking about, we got a little clip. It's not really a fight. I mean, this dude seemed like a scumbag completely. Because you tell me by watching this, who do you think is in the wrong here? Just who do you think is wrong here? I mean, just looking at it. We don't even need no sound. Just looking at it. Roll it.
Jason, drop the phone.
If I was deaf, I think I can still pick up what's going on here. That dude, Theo Von, is standing over here. I don't care what happened before this. I don't care if Theo Von was looking at his girl because his girl's kind of thick. I don't know if Theo Von was looking at her booty or something. It don't matter what happened. He walking up on Theo Von, looked like he said, hey man, get up off me. He come back and touch him or something, then he got right here. That's what you get. I don't think Theo Von was wrong in this situation, clearly. But people get drunk and they get weird with you, man, when you're a celebrity. Now, I don't go to clubs and stuff, so I don't really have that experience. But I do know people get drunk and they'll say crazy things to you. They try to fight you and all kind of stuff. So, obviously, Theo Von ain't the one to play with, and y'all got to realize I ain't the one to play with. So, you ever see me in a bar and you get drunk, don't try to get cute, all right? Because that's going to be a bad day, boy. I'm going to have to make a video about it, Nick. Surveillance footage, got people flying in the air. That little Antifa was easy, bro. I only used about 20% of my power to push that little non-binary down. If I really wanted to give a little, they probably would have hit a backflip twice. A little non-binary. Man, I pushed that little thing, felt like I pushed a kid. I was like, oh, I kind of feel bad. Your little chest just caved in. I think I heard the spirit come out of him.